My 5 years with Ethan were jokingly dubbed a one-sided devotion by my best friend. When I saw his first love, who had returned after 5 years abroad and looked 7/10 like me, I realized that those 5 years were nothing but a fleeting illusion. I left everything behind and agreed to an alliance marriage at home. It was a high-profile wedding, the talk of the town. Hazel, what the hell are you doing? Ethan stood at the doorway, his face dark, roaring at me. I smiled, my arm linked with Arthur's. I'm getting married. Mom, I promise you, I'll come home at the end of the month and marry the person you've chosen, I said to Mom, choking back tears over the phone. Hazel, you've finally come to your senses. I never understood why you insisted on being that man's doormat. What was so great about him? The man your family arranged for you is tall, handsome, and his family has a fortune in the hundreds of millions. Hurry home, Mom's undisguised joy came through the phone. I lowered my head, and unbidden tears fell. I'm sorry, Mom, for making you worry. This time, I'll listen to you. My phone was snatched by Marcus. Which that jerk has been bothering you? Don't cry, silly sister. Home will always be your rock, Marcus comforted me. I didn't want to worry my family too much, so I gave a vague answer and hung up. I had loved Ethan for 5 years, but it ultimately couldn't compare to the one that got away in his heart. 5 years, like a fleeting illusion. Ethan suddenly walked into the room, and I frantically wiped the tears from my face. He leaned in, kissing my cheek. Hazel, why are you crying? Is it because I didn't take you to the party? This was a guy's night out, and none of them brought their partners, so it wasn't appropriate for me either. You understand, right? I promise you, I'll be home early tonight. I forced a smile and told him, it's fine, you go. Ethan's phone vibrated several times. He glanced at the messages, grabbed his jack, and hurried out. After left, I called my best friend Linda. Linda, are you free today to go to the hospital with me? My period is 2 weeks late, and I have an appointment for a checkup, but I'm scared to go alone. Chloe was Ethan's first love. One day, I saw a photo of a girl in Ethan's notebook and strangely asked him, this girl looks a bit like me. Later, I learned that it was I who looked like Chloe. The world truly is a cruel twist of fate. I later learned their story from Ethan's good friend. Chloe had actively pursued Ethan, and under her persistent persuasion, Ethan agreed to date her. Less than a year into their relationship, Chloe suddenly went abroad and cut off contact with everyone. Ethan searched frantically for Chloe, but couldn't find her. His stomach issues were contracted during that time from drinking all night, every night. Hearing this, I pinched my fingertips, realizing I was truly just her shadow. Chloe and I looked about 7/10 alike. However, Chloe had an outgoing and assertive personality, while I preferred quiet, with a gentle disposition. Even the beginning of our stories was similar. I also actively pursued Ethan, which was probably the bravest thing I'd ever done. The difference was, I had never seen Ethan frantically searching for me. He had always been emotionally stable in front of me. Recently, I noticed his mood was abnormal. Ashtrays piled high with ashes like a small mound, and he started drinking late into the night. I thought his company was facing a tricky problem and wanted to help him. It wasn't until I accidentally saw his phone messages that I realized his emotional distress this time was still because of her. Chloe had sent Ethan many messages. Ethan, I'm back. 5 years, how have you been? Brother is hosting a welcome dinner for me on Saturday. I hope you can come. I really want to see you. Ethan's reply was the last message, I'll pick you up. See you Saturday. Saturday. Ethan went to a gathering his first love. I went to the OB. Linda looked at me with a frustrated expression, and I feigned being wronged, telling her, sister, it is what it is. There's nothing to be done now. Who asked me to fall for my own karma? A bitter fruit is still a fruit. Linda walked over and hugged me. So what are you going to do now? I hugged her back. Now, it's time to clean things up. I returned alone to the house Ethan and I shared. Today was also my 26th birthday. I received many well wishes and gifts. Hazel, happy birthday. Getting prettier every day. Linda gave me a bottle of perfume and a birthday cake. Hazel, happy birthday. All I wish for you is happiness and joy. Marcus transferred $52,000. Ms. Hazel, Union wishes you a happy and fulfilling birthday. Even many official accounts sent me blessings. Only forgot. His heart was already filled with more important matters. I declined many dinner invitations, putting all the received birthday cakes in the fridge. I didn't have much appetite to eat them myself. I wanted to organize all the gifts he had given me at home. Handbags, clothes, rings, scarves, matching couple mugs. But there was one necklace I had always been reluctant to wear. Ethan said he had paid a hefty price for it, searching for a long time before he found it. I slept restlessly that night, waking up several times. The next day, Ethan, I tried calling his name, but he still wasn't back. I scoffed at myself, what was I still hoping for? I opened my phone, checked the calendar, calculated how many days I needed to move, and booked a flight home for the end of the month. Honey, why are all these gifts I gave you piled by the door? Ethan returned. Oh. I'm tidying up the house, I haven't finished yet. He walked over. Hazel, I saw a birthday cake in the fridge, is it? Ethan suddenly realized. Yesterday was your birthday? Oh my god, I was so swamped I completely forgot. I'm so sorry, honey. I twitched my lips. It's fine. Did why? Oh, you have fun at your party? You didn't sleep all night, did you? You should rest. Ethan leaned in and hugged me. Are you mad? I'm sorry. How about I take you and our friends camping outdoors in a couple of days? I glanced at him and nodded. I thought to myself, just one last time. I was still greedy for his company. The campsite was at the foot of a mountain, about a 30-minute drive from the city. Ethan led me out of the car by the hand. His friends had already arrived, set up the canopy and camping tables and chairs, and were lighting a fire for a barbecue. Brother, you finally decided to bring your lady out to play. Wow, sister-in-law is so beautiful. A boy with a buzz cut, Leo, shouted as he saw us approach. Cut it out, keep your voice down, you'll scare Hazel. Ethan pulled me into his arms. Leo continued to tease. Ethan glanced into the crowd, his expression suddenly changing. I followed his gaze. Chloe was there too. Chloe approached with a beaming smile. Ethan, Lily said you were camping today. I also wanted to spend some time outdoors, so I came along. You don't mind, do you? Ethan paused, not answering her. Chloe introduced herself to me. Hello, Hazel. My name is Chloe. I'm Ethan's ex-old friend. I noticed we look a bit alike. We must be sisters. My attention was drawn to the necklace around Chloe's neck. My heart sank. Wasn't that the very necklace I had searched for so long and couldn't find? Ethan's arm around me loosened slightly. I nodded at Chloe and said, really? What a coincidence. Seeing the atmosphere turn cold, Leo tried to lighten the mood. Don't just stand there, everyone, come sit down, we've just met, so let's play truth or dare to get to know each other better. Leo then walked over to us. Sister-in-law, my name is Leo. You and brother sit here. Leo spun a bottle of beer on the table. The first round landed on Chloe, who chose truth. Leo asked her, is there someone here you like, limited to males? Chloe's gaze fell on Ethan, and she curled her lips. Yes. Ethan, however, avoided her eyes. The second round also landed on Chloe, who chose dare. Leo dared her to chug 5 bottles of beer. Everyone around us complained that Leo had no sense of chivalry. Chloe, however, was bold. No problem. Bring on the drinks. After 1 bottle, Chloe began to choke. Ethan's face turned ugly. He snatched the bottle of beer from her hand. You have an alcohol allergy, and you're still drinking like this? I'll drink it for you. The people around us started cheering. I watched Ethan chug bottle after bottle, his collar slightly damp with beer. I remembered how, when I used to accompany Ethan to work dinners, he wasn't good at holding his liquor, and I almost always had to cover for him by drinking his share. But now, I carried a dead drunk Ethan home. He lay on the bed, mumbling, Chloe, you can't drink. Chloe, you're still the same after all these years. I looked at Ethan, feeling a pang of sorrow. Sorrow for myself, for wasting years, for wasting myself, for giving my love to the wrong person. From that day on, I started working long hours, deliberately avoiding seeing Ethan. For the first few days, Ethan actively sent me messages. Hazel, are you that busy with work lately? I rarely see you. I bought you your favorite Swiss roll. It's in the fridge. I deliberately waited a long time to reply to his messages. Gradually, the messages became fewer and farther between. During my lunch break, I was eating and scrolling through short videos when the algorithm cruelly suggested Chloe's account. Her most recent update was a photo of Chloe and Ethan together. Chloe smiled at the camera, and Ethan was looking at her. The caption read, you said I never changed. I said, you haven't either. I clicked into the account and scrolled through her posts, one by one. It turned out that, during the days he wasn't messaging me, he was with Chloe. Walking on the beach together, partying at bars together, traveling to the suburbs together. I touched my slightly swollen abdomen, scoffing at myself. Hazel, what illusions are you still clinging to? I opened my phone and checked my schedule. I was going home in 5 days. Hazel, come quickly. I brought you your favorite crawfish. I walked out of the room and saw Ethan changing his shoes in the entryway. I smiled and asked him, "Where have you been these past few days?" He paused, then walked towards the dining table with the crawfish. "Oh, I was on a business trip for a few days. I saw you were busy, so I didn't disturb you." Ethan peeled a plate of crawfish for me, offering a conciliatory smile. "Here, I peeled them for you. Consider it an apology. Oh, and in a couple of days is my company annual gala. You should come too. I've already ordered an evening gown for you. I don't really know about evening gown aesthetics, so I had Chloe, a girl, help me pick it out. You should like it." Ethan looked me up and down. "Hazel, you've gained a little weight recently. If the evening gown doesn't fit, you can tell my assistant." I sat down, picked up a crawfish, put it in my mouth, and vaguely mumbled a couple of replies. Ethan's company annual gala. I was leaving this city in 3 days. Ethan was busy chatting with investors. I stood alone in a corner. My current condition meant I couldn't drink alcohol, so I just held a glass of water and stared blankly at the large trees outside the window. "Hazel?" I turned and saw Chloe walking towards me. Her evening gown was similar to mine, and she wore that necklace around her neck. I smiled at her. "Hello, Ms. Young." She took my hand. "Oh, don't call me Ms. Young, it sounds so formal. Just call me Chloe." I stiffly nodded, trying to end the awkward small talk. Chloe, however, continued, "I'm sure you know about Ethan and my past, right?" I raised an eyebrow, gesturing for her to continue. "Ethan and I haven't seen each other for so many years, but meeting again this time. We both feel like we have the old connection. Thank you for taking care of him these past 5 years. He's very grateful." "So, he was too embarrassed to tell you himself." I lowered my gaze and smiled. "If he was truly grateful and truly embarrassed, he would have come to tell me himself. And if you were truly confident, you wouldn't have gone out of your way to tell me all this." I pretended to be nonchalant, but my palm was already marked with faint red crescent marks from my nails. "Watch out." A scream erupted nearby. A huge, temporarily erected promotional wall next to us was swaying precariously and falling. Chloe, standing on the outer side, was just about to run away. "Watch out, run." It was Ethan's anxious voice. Chloe stopped running outwards and pushed me away. I fell to the ground, clutching my slightly aching abdomen, feeling an unusually warm flow in my lower belly. Chloe was grazed by the outer edge of the wall, sustaining a minor scrape on her arm. Ethan rushed to Chloe's side immediately. "Chloe, are you okay? Where are you hurt?" Chloe immediately burst into choked back tears, embracing Ethan. "You scared me to death. I had a chance to run away just now, but grabbed me, and my arm hurts so much." Ethan yelled at me, "Hazel, how could you only care about yourself?" Then he patted Chloe's back, comforting her. It's all right. I'll take you to the hospital for a checkup." I opened my mouth but couldn't utter a single word. My heart felt as if it were being squeezed in someone's hand, a sharp pain. Watching pick up Chloe and walk towards the main entrance, my vision blurred, and the surrounding sounds faded in and out. I fainted. The hospital disinfectant smelled terrible. I lay on the bed, staring blankly at the ceiling. Linda sat beside me, sighing. "Hazel, the baby. It's gone. It's for the best. It wouldn't have been happy coming into this world anyway. You should give up hope now, right? Ethan hasn't sent a sin. GLE message, not a single phone call, even now." I pulled out my phone and opened the message box. It was a message from Chloe, a photo of Ethan asleep by her hospital bed. I slid out of the chat app. I deleted Ethan's photos, posts, and contact information one by one. I feigned nonchalance and said to Linda, "I've let go. Time heals all wounds." I returned home and packed up all my belongings to be shipped home. I called a cleaner to dispose of all items related to Ethan. Looking at the empty house, I picked up a sticky note, wrote on it, and pasted it in the entryway. "Ethan, we're breaking up. I won't hypocritically wish you happiness. Don't contact me again. I picked up my suitcase and rushed to the airport. Once on the plane, looking through the airplane window as the city below grew smaller and smaller, my heart felt increasingly lighter. I never wanted to return here. Landing in Cascade. My favorite thing about my hometown was its spring-like climate all year round, with pleasant weather. No longer would I have to endure the bleak winters of Sterling for Ethan. Stepping out of the gate, I saw my family waiting for me at the arrival area. Mom walked up first, taking the suitcase from my hand and passing it to Dad behind her. Mom looked at me with tender concern. "Hazel, why have you lost so much weight? Come on, let's go home. Mom will make you your favorite pork rib and lotus root soup." Suddenly, a wave of grievances surged in my heart, and my eyes became moist. It turned out that when unloved, one could be very strong, but once loved, one would expose all vulnerabilities like a kitten showing its belly. Mom looked at me, and her eyes also turned red. Marcus walked forward and put his arms around Mom's and my shoulders. All right, two little princesses, don't cry. Even if the sky falls, your brother is here. Pfft, hearing's teasing, both Mom and I burst out laughing through our tears. Getting into the car, I looked out the window and asked Mar. Puzzled, brother, this doesn't seem to be the way home, does it? Marcus stammered, oh. It's nothing, you look beautiful now. I frowned. What a nonsensical answer. Oh, it's Mom and Dad. They were so anxious, they made a dinner appointment with your fiancé. Marcus pointed at Mom and Dad in the front seat, trying to distance himself. Hazel, just think of it as having dinner with a friend, no need to be formal. Dad, who was driving, glanced at us through the rearview mirror and told me. Marcus took out his phone and showed me a picture. The man in the photo sat at a desk, wearing a blue shirt with rolled-up sleeves and gold-rimmed glasses, looking calmly at the camera. He looked scholarly. Marcus began his sales pitch. Look, this is Mom's best friend's son. He studied at the London School of Economics and Political for both his bachelor's and master's degrees. He became a university professor at such a young age. Even worse, he's so outstanding, and he's also so handsome. Marcus raised an eyebrow at me, though still a bit less handsome than me. Hearing that last sentence, I made a feigned gagging expression and waved my hand. Arriving at the restaurant, following the waiter's guidance to the private room, I raised my hand to open the door, but it was opened from the inside. I looked up and met a pair of deep, clear eyes. Arthur, you're already here. Marcus stepped from behind me to block me from Arthur, greeting him. Arthur nodded at Marcus, then reached past Marcus to offer me his hand. Ms. G, hello. I gently returned his handshake, softly saying, hello. Marcus glared at Arthur. Well, Arthur, I admit my sister is beautiful, but don't let a pretty face make you forget your friends too obviously. Mom, Dad, why don't we leave? Let's give them some space to develop their feelings. Marcus, stop your chatter and come sit down, Mom interrupted Marcus. At the dinner table, Arthur and I said little. I focused on eating, occasionally offering a word or two in agreement. It was mostly the elders from both families doing all the talking. After dinner, just as I was about to get in the car, Marcus stopped me. Sis, you see, our car has 5 seats in total. Dad, Mom, Arthur's parents, plus me. Hey, exactly full. So we'll just have to drive you home. I glared, squeezing words through gritted teeth. Marcus, do you have to make this so awkward for me? Marcus pretended not to hear, waved his hand, bye-bye, and closed the car door, driving off. Hazel, get in. I'll drive you home. Arthur leaned his head out the car window, gesturing for me to get in. The ride was silent. I tried to break the ice. Ahem. Being arranged into a marriage with a stranger must be quite bothersome for you too, right? Arthur glanced at me. It used to be bothersome, but when I found out it was you, it wasn't anymore. His words left me confused. Huh? Hazel left Sterling? That day, to gain sympathy, being hit by the wall actually hurt quite a bit, but seeing Ethan yell at Hazel made it worth it, haha. I can finally be discharged from the hospital tomorrow. My bones feel soft from lying around. Chloe's best friend echoed her laughter from beside her. Ethan, carrying dinner, was about to push the door open when he heard Chloe's voice coming from inside. He paused. I heard Hazel had a miscarriage. It couldn't have been because I pushed her, could it? But this is good too. Ethan definitely won't want her now, and no other man would probably take her on, ha ha ha. Hearing this, Ethan clenched his fists, feeling his blood run cold. He violently pushed the door open, the door banging loudly against the wall. What miscarriage? What the hell did you do to her? Chloe, I never thought you were like this. Chloe looked at Ethan's sinister face at the doorway and immediately fell silent, not daring to breathe. Chloe, you'd better pray she's okay. Ethan finished speaking and rushed out of the room. He called me as he ran, "Bu." The phone was constantly busy. He opened my chat window and sent, Hazel. He only received a red exclamation mark. Ethan returned home, and the first thing he saw was the sticky note I had left in the entryway. He picked up the sticky note, completely stunned. He looked around the house, only cold, empty furniture remained. All traces of me were gone. Ethan found Linda and pleaded with her for a long time. Just let me call Hazel once. Please. Just let me explain once. Linda, annoyed, threw her phone at him, not forgetting to mock him. Here we go again with the pathetic drama of too little, too late. You men just love to put on this show. I was helping Mom wash fruit in the kitchen when my phone kept ringing. Brother, can you check my phone? Who's calling me? Marcus glanced at the phone screen. It's Linda. Then answer it for me and tell her I'll call her back later. Marcus pressed the answer button. Hello? Ethan heard a male voice on the phone. Hello? Who is this? Where's Hazel? Marcus checked the caller ID, confirming it was Linda. And who are you? Isn't this Linda's phone? Ethan took a deep breath. I'm Hazel's boyfriend. Marcus was speechless. You're that jerk? You hurt my sister so badly, and you still dare to call? I'm Hazel's brother. She's getting married soon. Get lost, stay far away. Don't bother her anymore. Without waiting for Ethan to speak, he harshly hung up the phone. Ethan looked at the disconnected call, his heart burning with anxiety. Seriously hurt? Getting married? A wave of irritation washed over him. He opened a ticket booking website and immediately booked a flight to Cascade for the next day. I wiped my hands as I walked out of the kitchen. Brother, what did Linda say? Marcus rolled his eyes. Nothing much, just asked how you were doing. I replied for you. My phone vibrated again. It was a message from Arthur. Hazel, I have an appointment with the wedding planner today. Do you have time to try on wedding gowns? I paused, still not used to the idea that I was getting married. I typed a reply to Arthur. Okay, see you at the bridal boutique in an hour. That day, after listening to Arthur, I was in a daze. I went home and asked Marcus why Arthur was my fiancé. Was it just because he was Mom's best friend's son? Marcus said that Arthur was considered an unattainable figure at their university. Girls pursued him and confessed to him in droves, but rejected them all, citing his busy research work. There were even rumors circulating that Arthur might be gay, which made his mother incredibly anxious. Until one day, he actively messaged Marcus, asking who the girl standing next to him in the family photo Marcus had posted on his social media was. That's when Marcus remembered he could play matchmaker for Arthur and me. But according to Marcus, he wasn't randomly playing matchmaker. Marcus had talked with Arthur for a full 3 hours. Marcus had thoroughly vetted him. I told you this guy would be hung up on you. Think back carefully, did you captivate some young boy in elementary school? Marcus looked at me with a mischievous grin. I pressed for more details, but he told me to ask Arthur myself. Although I had only spent a short 2 or 3 days with Arthur, he gave me a completely different feeling from Ethan. Arthur rarely used empty sweet talk, but it was all evident in his actions. He would diligently learn to make soup, hand it to me, ladled it into a bowl and let it cool slightly before reminding me to drink it. He would meticulously follow up on every wedding detail, so I didn't have to worry. But he wouldn't tell me he had spent a long time learning to make soup, nor that the wedding planning details were terribly complicated. I only learned these things from Mom. I used to think love had to be grand and dramatic. Now, I prefer to live each day with peace and simplicity. Arriving at the bridal boutique, I gazed at the wedding gowns in the display window, fluffy and soft I clouds, lost in thought. I, too, had once fantasized about my wedding day with Ethan. Now, I was getting married, to Arthur. I shook my head. The people and events of the past were just a fleeting illusion. Let the past stay in the past. Now, I needed to cherish the person in front of me. I watched Arthur and the planner holding a notebook, selecting wedding gowns. He looked up, met my eyes, and waved at me. Hazel, come take a look too and pick what you like. I pointed to the display window. How about we try on that one? I changed into the wedding gown, and the attendant pulled back the curtain. Arthur had also changed into a suit and was pacing back and forth in the hall. Hearing the curtain open, he looked over at me, his eyes sparkling. Hazel, you're truly beautiful. Stared at for too long, I lowered my head, a little shy, and smiled. He carried a bouquet of blue hydrangeas, walked over to me, and handed them to me. Hazel, I heard you like hydrangeas. Their flower language is endless. I hope that with me by your side, our lives will always be an endless. I took the flowers, and he continued, you asked me before why I wasn't averse or bothered by the idea of marrying you. I want to tell you, not only am I not averse or bothered, but I've been waiting for you. You don't remember me? Skyridge School? Hearing this, I suddenly realized, Arthur, we were elementary school classmates? How did you go from a chubby kid to so handsome? Arthur burst out laughing. Ha ha ha, then I should be glad I worked so hard to lose weight, otherwise you definitely wouldn't have noticed me. I also chuckled. Arthur straightened his expression, took my hand. Hazel, I know you've just ended a bad relationship and might need time to heal, but I don't want to wait any longer. Even if it's a cliché arranged marriage leading to love, I want to be around you first. You might not have many expectations for love and marriage anymore, but I don't want you to lose the ability to love. I'm willing to take the first step. I also know that your feelings for me are only slightly more than for a stranger, but I have patience, and I believe that together we will make each other better, because we are both good people. I nodded earnestly at him. Okay. I wanted to understand Arthur better. Marcus said that Arthur had classes every Wednesday afternoon, as he was an economics professor. I dug a hoodie and sweatpants out of my suitcase and put them on. Walking around the university campus, watching couples holding hands on the track field, I felt a good deal younger. I secretly slipped into the last row of the classroom. Professor's class was packed with students. I heard the girls next to me whispering, "Professor is so handsome. I wish I could switch majors. I don't want to write this annoying code anymore." On the podium, Arthur, in a suit with gold-rimmed glasses, was incredibly charismatic. I stared towards the podium. Professor happened to look up, pushing his glasses. In economics, there's a saying, sunk cost fallacy doesn't apply to major decisions. This idea applies to anything, including relationships. Suddenly, a girl raised her hand to ask, "Professor, I've never heard you talk about relationships before. Please elaborate." Arthur didn't directly answer her, continuing, "What is a sunk cost? It refers to expenses that have already occurred and cannot be recovered, including time, money, and energy already spent. From a decision-making perspective, when making any decision, we should disregard sunk costs. But in reality, many people are often troubled by sunk costs when making decisions. To give a more common example, if you get on the wrong bus and swipe your card, you shouldn't keep riding just because you've paid. You'll end up at the wrong destination. What you should do is get off immediately." At this, he paused and looked at me. I took out my phone and sent him a message. "Professor, that was a great lect. I learned a lot. The hour-long class ended, and I waited for Arthur outside the door. Arthur walked out of the classroom, but was stopped by a group of girls at the door. "Professor, could I add you on WeChat to understand sunk costs in more detail? Professor, could you give me some advice on my research proposal?" Arthur, feeling somewhat impatient from being blocked, said, "I will set aside time in the next class to answer everyone's questions. Right now, I need to take my fiancé to dinner." With that, he walked over and took my hand. Everyone gasped. "Oh my God! Professor isn't gay after all. Professor's fiancé is so gorgeous. Handsome men should be with beautiful women. It's a treat for my eyes." Ethan, looking at the empty house and unable to contact me directly, felt incredibly frustrated. Tickets for the flight to Cascade that day were sold out. He could only get on the early morning flight the next day, but felt he couldn't wait another second. He called Leo and went to a bar to drown his sorrows. Leo, seeing Ethan in this state, tried to comfort him. "Brother, Hazel would never marry anyone else. She's just angry right now. Once you go and sweet talk her, you'll definitely make up." Ethan felt slightly better after hearing these words. He picked up the ring box beside him and secretly made a resolution. This time, when he went to find Hazel, he would sincerely apologize, let go of that damned, useless male pride. Then he would propose to Hazel. She had wanted it for so long, she would definitely say yes. After landing in Cascade, Ethan got into a taxi. As the taxi drove into the city, he saw an outdoor billboard displaying wedding photos of Hazel and Arthur, with the prominent text, "G-Fong Grand Marriage, cordially all love to witness at Grandview." Seeing this scene, Ethan's heart sank. "Driver, do you know them?" Ethan asked the taxi driver, pointing at the billboard. The taxi driver glanced at the unshaven man. "Everyone in this city knows them, right? An alliance marriage of wealthy families, and they're a perfect match." Ethan was silent for a few moments, then told the driver, "Driver, please take me to Grandview." The day before the wedding, Arthur and I were meticulously going through the rehearsal according to the planner's schedule. "Hazel!" Ethan roared from the doorway. Everyone's attention was drawn to him. "Hazel, do you want me to?" Arthur instinctively shielded me. I waved him off, saying, "No, I can handle it." I walked up to Ethan, looking at him calmly. "Ethan." Ethan desperately grabbed my hand. "Hazel, I'm so sorry. I didn't know any of this before. Can you forgive me? Don't just get married to spite me." I pulled my hand away from his. "Ethan, don't be so arrogant. I'm not getting married to spite you. Since you're here, let's clear everything up once and for all. After this, we won't bother each other, and we'll both be well. How can we not bother each other? If it's because of Chloe, I can explain. Ethan began to panic, his face contorted in pain. I cut him off. No matter what, Chloe, you don't need to tell me. I don't care. I admit that when I was with you, there was happiness, pain, sweetness, grievances, and disappointment. Every moment back then was undeniable, our shared experience, and I once fantasized about marrying you. At the same time, I have to admit that people change. You'll change, and so will I. When our child wasn't around, I was in agony, desperate to rush to you and become hysterical. But now, the fact that I can tell you all of this calmly proves we've reached the end. I found peace, and I hope you can let go too. Ethan stood rooted to the spot. I turned and walked towards Arthur, who was watching me with a smile. To turn back for the sake of lingering regret would only be a hollow self-affirmation. Sunk cost fallacy doesn't apply to major decisions. Letting go is simply so you can grasp something better. I just want to hold on to my present happiness, live life to the fullest, and embrace romance. Bonus, Arthur was among the top students in his class at Skyridge School, but still felt insecure because he had been called a chubby kid since childhood. So he was always a loner, spending time by himself in the library and going to the cafeteria alone. The girls' 50-meter sprint relay race final was in full swing, and the track field was packed with spectators. Arthur was drawn by the bustling atmosphere and stopped near the finish line. Amidst the deafening cheers, one name stood out particularly: Hazel. Hazel was the class's firecracker, a love-hate relationship for the teacher. Arthur didn't have much contact with her. In fact, Arthur's interactions with everyone were superficial. Arthur often heard classmates talking about her. Someone sent Hazel breakfast again. That's the 5th this month, isn't it? It's good to be pretty. Being pretty isn't even the half of it. Our class relies on her to win gold medals at every sports event. It's just that her grades aren't great, ha ha ha. God might have closed that one window for her. The shouts around them grew louder. The girl running at the front, holding the baton, was getting closer and closer to the red finish line. Hazel's face was flushed and bright from the exertion. The moment she reached the finish line, Arthur watched Hazel's smiling face in the sunlight. The first stirrings of emotion bloomed in the boy's heart. Pretty? Undeniably so. But what captivated Arthur more was her bright and fervent spirit. It was something he lacked. People are always drawn to what they don't possess. Arthur's parents always said, "He's unusually composed for a boy his age. We just wish you'd be happier, more outgoing, and fully enjoy your fleeting youth." Amidst the roaring cheers, Hazel couldn't stop her momentum from sprinting and collided with someone in front of her. Arthur instinctively caught her. The warm touch against his chest, enveloped by the scent of roses, sent his body temperature soaring. Arthur's adrenaline surged, and he heard a drumming in his heart. Hazel, Hazel. This was the boy's secret. His inability to step forward and hold her tighter was another secret born of his insecurity. Arthur felt unworthy. Arthur, you're not inexperienced, are you? Arthur watched Hazel, who was beneath him, blink her big eyes as she asked. It's fine, it's fine. I might not have experience, but I've seen it done. Hazel's eyes sparkling with amusement, she added a teasing consolation, unsure if she was comforting Arthur or herself. Hazel, you. Arthur chose not to say more. Actions would speak louder. He lowered his head and kissed her forehead, a faint tickle lingering. Hazel whispered softly in his ear, "You can be a little wilder, Mr. Arthur." Arthur bit gently on Hazel's shoulder. "Bad woman," he murmured. The room was dark, with only their intertwined breaths, filled with desire in the quiet night. Afterwards, Hazel snuggled into Arthur's arms, and they chatted aimlessly. About the past. About the present. About a beautiful cloud they'd seen that day. Mr. Arthur. Mr. Arthur? Yes. Thank you for watching today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it with your friends. We look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments section. Feel free to share your opinions, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting stories. See you next time.